Secretary of State Vance has reached tentative agreement with the Russians on a new strategic arms treaty, and Christmas shoppers got a bonus, word that the inflation rate slowed down last month.
From ABC, this is World News Tonight, with Max Robinson in Chicago, Tom Jarrell in Washington, substituting for Frank Reynolds, Barbara Walters, who is on assignment, tonight a comment from Howard K. Smith, and Peter Jennings in London.
Good evening. Overseas today, the Soviet Union and the United States have tentatively agreed to further limit cooperatively their strategic arms. Secretary of State Vance and Soviet Foreign Minister Andrei Gromyko have been working on details in Geneva. ABC's Barry Dunsmore has a report.
After 6 years of negotiations, today was the day when the U.S. and the Soviet Union effectively reached a new agreement to limit long-range nuclear weapons. Going into today's session, nearly all of the major issues had been resolved. And after 6 hours of talks, enough progress had been made that Vance could invite Soviet President Brezhnev to Washington for a summit meeting with President Carter. According to the American plan, Vance was authorized to announce the agreement and the summit. However, Gromyko was not empowered to take part in any such announcements or to publicly accept the summit invitation. And so it was left to U.S. spokesman Hodding Carter to sum up developments this way.
The Secretary feels that good progress was made. He feels that we are close to the end of the road.
The matters to be discussed tomorrow include some loose ends on SALT and the Carter-Brezhnev summit. It's clear that the Soviets are now prepared to come to Washington, but not as early as mid-January, which is what the U.S. had in mind. One of the reasons being offered is that the Soviets simply want more time to organize the meeting. But more likely, Brezhnev wants to meet Carter after the Chinese leader Deng Xiaoping has been to Washington. Barry Dunsmore, ABC News, Geneva.
This is Sam Donaldson at the White House, where President Carter was sufficiently recovered from a painful attack of hemorrhoids to resume planned activities, including departure for his Christmas trip to Plains, Georgia, from where tomorrow he may very well announce a summit meeting with the Russians, according to White House sources. Before leaving, the president held his final meeting on that tight fiscal 1980 budget he's been preparing. And while officials would not discuss total figures or the controversial defense request, they volunteered what they said was good news concerning one of the most politically sensitive domestic social programs, the CETA job program. The present CETA program generates 600,000 jobs. Officials said the budget office recommended cutting that way back to 500,000 jobs, but that at today's meeting, Mr. Carter upped the money total by $1 billion in order to raise the CETA jobs level to about 555,000. The purpose of the meeting was to put some money back in, said one official. The fact is, compared to this year's budget, the president has taken some money out. Just as Democratic Party liberals feared, there will be fewer CETA jobs, not more. And Mr. Carter's critics are likely to view today's good news in the same way as the man who, when struck by a car, was told, cheer up, it might have been a truck. Sam Donaldson, ABC News, the White House.
The government had some good pre-Christmas news today, especially for those who have been shocked by the higher cost of gifts this year over last. The rate of inflation in November slowed somewhat, increasing by only 0.5%. The November figures normally would not have been out for another 6 days, but it was such good news they released them quickly. Dan Courts reports on how this could be affecting the biggest sales period of the year.
Christmas sales in many parts of the country seem to be benefiting from last month's slower rate of inflation and a healthy rise in personal incomes. That combination injected a quick shot of purchasing power into the economy, and shoppers are putting it to use. But there are signs of belt tightening. For example, here on Manhattan's West Side, merchants say more gift seekers are buying practical things, such as these kitchen appliances and other household items. A few doors up the street, clothing is also selling well, and shoppers are reacting to higher price tags by choosing better quality merchandise